What's up everybody, Sambo here. Welcome to episode 2 of City Fix. So if you're not familiar what City Fix is, it's basically when you guys send in your broken cities, you outline some kind of issue that you have in your city, and I come along and I'm like, hey, I know what to do, I shall fix that for you, and that's what we shall do today. If you'd like to send your city to me, all you have to do is upload it onto the Steam workshop. Simply copy the link above when you upload it, and then you can either send it to me down below in the comments, you can send me a message on Steam, or you can contact me on my Instagram. So don't be afraid, send it out, I'll have a look, and if it's good I shall let you know. Also, just a quick shout out to the guy who made my new intro logo for all of my videos. I really appreciate it. I was actually looking out for someone to make one for me, and then you just happened to come along. So if you want to check out his channel, it is in the description below. You can check out his YouTube channel, and also his Instagram is there if you'd like to get in contact. So anyway, in today's video I'm working on this European style city. It's called Canville. It's about 80,000 people, and I've been specifically asked to fix up these two roundabouts here. So if I just show you guys, this is the whole city here. Now there's a lot of other issues going on in the city, like this big thing here, this thing over here. We got a lot of traffic issues everywhere, but I've been specifically asked to fix up these two guys right here. So first of all, I've been letting it run just for a few minutes, and traffic has suddenly got extremely bad. It's all built up, and also what is going on with the pathways? I'm wondering why you put a pathway in the middle. Considering there's nothing there, you don't really need to lower it down. So I'm going to rebuild the pathways, but I'm going to delete them now because they're just kind of in the way. So let's talk about why you actually have this issue. I see a lot of people do this all the time. It's basically segregation suburbs is what I call it. So you guys seem to put a lot of pressure on your highway connections, and you actually don't really give enough other connections. So if we look down here, you can see this looks like a whole separate town versus this one over here, because it's really separated, right, by this highway. There's no other little connecting roads. The only way to get from side to side is to go through all of the highway traffic. Same with over here. If you're here and you want to get to here, you have to go through this really messy highway, go through all of the traffic. So you're basically funneling all of your traffic into one specific area, and those specific areas they just can't handle it. So you need to make sure that you have enough different options for them to get around, like I mentioned in the first episode. Also, I just want to show you guys the public transport network. There is none. So for a city that's 80,000 people, you would expect some kind of public transport network. So I'm not going to do that, but what I would do if I was the mayor of this city, so since it is already in little separate towns, what I would do is I'd make little bus loops in each town. So for example, here, 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 another one here, here, and then over here. And then instead of doing bus lines that go onto the main roads and connect each little town, I would actually use either a train or probably a subway. So the subway would be the way that they connect from different suburb to suburb. So instead of doing the buses that mix in with all the existing huge annoying traffic, you do the subway so it doesn't really mix in, right? So anyway, let's get into today's video. What I plan on doing is we're going to keep this shape, right? Because if you look up here, there's a lot of roundabout, so we're going to keep a roundabout, but I'm going to do more of an oval shape. But what we need to do first of all is we need to actually allow the highway to continue on through here without being interrupted, because this is a main road, right? So they should be able to zoom through this area without actually mixing in with all of the traffic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on this highway straight through down here, but I'm going to lower it down so it's not at the same level, and you'll see why I do that in a second. But it'll be lowered down so all of the traffic can just drive straight through and not have to worry about the traffic that will be above it. Okay, so that is done. Now hopefully all the traffic should just flow through really easily. I don't have the despawn button on, so the cars won't actually disappear. But even just by going like this, all of the cars should zoom through a lot faster, and because they don't have any roundabouts to stop them. I am actually going to demolish just a couple of buildings, not too many, because this is quite a big project, and I think for such a scale, it's it's okay to need to demolish a couple, right? Usually I don't like to, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one big oval shape roundabout that goes over the top of the highway, and basically by having the highway down lower, all of that traffic can zoom through, and then all of the above traffic, they can then choose which way they want to go. If they want to go straight through the roundabout, or they want to go here, there, wherever, they can go straight through and it doesn't bother the highway traffic. For this oval roundabout, I'm going to use 3 lanes because I think 3 lanes is probably enough. And then also, it might look a bit funny how I'm designing this, but we might have to demolish this building here, unfortunately. Sorry. We don't want to demolish too many buildings because that's really not what I'm all about. But if I just bring that around there, hopefully that can just miss that. We'll adjust that in a second, and then we'll do the same up here. Okay, so also I just want to clarify one thing. When you're building a roundabout, it helps to have these road connections in the middle, because when you add a road connection to a roundabout in the game, if you don't have these road connections, it actually changes the whole orientation of the roundabout. It makes really weird shapes. Some of you might know, like when you click on it, it just like bounces off crazily. So if you have these inner connections, it actually stops those really annoying connections. So let's connect this existing road. We're just going to continue on with the existing 4-lane road, and then we're also going to continue on with the same one for up here as well. Okay, so that is that connected. I'm just going to remove this zoning over here because I don't want anyone to build again right up close to the highway, because I don't think that's very nice. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add all of the normal highway connections, so the entrance and exit ramps on either side, and then we're also just going to manage a few things quickly. Now, just a little tip for you guys, when you're doing the entrance and exit ramps, I like to do the actual access point on the same side, roughly about the same like area, so it doesn't look really too messy. Now, if I can just fit this one in here without actually demolishing, if I can bring that up to about there. Okay, phew! Okay, so I'm just going to demolish these inner roads because we don't really need those anymore. We've connected all of the main ones. Now I'm going to let that run just for a few minutes, and then you'll start to see what issues start to occur, which is then when we'll need to use this guy up here to really manage a few things and really make sure that everything works. So while that's going, what I'm going to do up here, while I was off camera, I was looking at how all of this, there's mostly traffic on this side, right? If you're ever not sure where the traffic is going, you can click on this guy, then click on the road, and if I zoom out, you can see a lot of them are going into this suburb here, and also a lot are going straight ahead. And so what I want to do is I want to add in a few slip lanes. I noticed you've done one over here, but I want to use this one here because you have such a large road, and I'm kind of like, why does this road go to nowhere? What I'm going to do is add a little elevated road that goes over the highway and connects up to this main road. So by doing that, it's going to alleviate a lot of the traffic on the new oval roundabout that we just built, because it's giving them another option. So guys, just like that, and eventually you'll start seeing they start to come in here, because this is just a quick little slip entrance. I'm going to remove traffic lights here because we don't really need it. And what else I'm going to do is I want to add in, well, this next thing should be done basically all over the whole city, but there needs to be more little road connections. So if I just bring this up and then connect it to this random little existing road, that should be a nice little shortcut. And I know it looks really horrible, but let me just adjust that, and hopefully they'll start using that. Okay, so you can see straight away there's already people using it, and so really that type of thing should be done all over this whole map, because the traffic is oh my god, oh excuse me, no. See, there's a lot of traffic going on. Now we've got build-ups this way, but you know what? I've only been asked to look at down here. So what is the issue down here? You can see we have some weird merging issues. There's some issues here. So what we need to do at this point is, first of all, we're going to use the traffic manager right here, and we're going to force them to use the specific lanes. So by doing this, it's basically lane control, but without all of the lines on the road, because like imagine, see this line here, imagine it continues along and then stops there. But in the game, we don't really have that unless you draw it on yourself. So that's why you just draw it like so. And also one thing that I would like to do is probably downgrade. You might be thinking, what? Downgrade? But I want to downgrade this road here. So it goes 3 lanes, and then this third lane will be the entrance ramp. And then we come over here, 2 lane, 2 lane. And then when this one connects back, this third lane is where they shall go in. And then we can also do the same for this side as well. Okay, and then so just a little bit more lane control. So this one will be used as the merging lane, and then these two should only go straight ahead. So let's imagine that there is a line that goes like along here, basically saying to these guys, hey, you can't go into this lane yet. Eventually they can merge in, but at the starting point we don't really want that. There seems to be a nice flow going through here. This one looks okay because we have the merging lane. Let's go up here. These guys seem okay. We'll do the same for here as well, just in case there's a little bit of a congestion issue, just like so. Perfect. Now let's have a look. How's it going? So you can see the highway flow is already super efficient, right? It's really, there's no congestion through this area of the city, simply by removing the highway connecting directly to the roundabout. So if you remember before, the highway connected and they had to go through 2 roundabouts, which really slowed it down. And those roundabouts, no offense, they were designed pretty horribly. And there's traffic lights actually within the roundabouts. There's multiple traffic lights actually, and there's lots of different issues with it. So now what we need to do is we have a lot of traffic coming through here, right? You can see most of it is going over here. They want to go right there. So obviously I'm going to make these guys who are coming onto the roundabout, they need to give way, because the roundabout traffic is pretty dominant, right? And then also I'm going to make these guys give way. I'm also going to remove the connection lane thing, so then they go through faster. That one already has it, and then I'll do the same for over here as well. Now we could also do something else. We could do a direct sneaky lane that goes across over to here if we really wanted to. So it would look something like, if I just use, actually I might just use this one right here. So if you really wanted, you could do something like that. You just have to manage this intersection, because then it just reduces a lot of the traffic connecting onto this roundabout. So I'm just going to show you guys, if we were to use this lane right here, what I would do is I would then say to these guys, hey, you can't turn and then turn into here. So you can only go straight ahead on the roundabout. You can't use the roundabout to get onto the highway. So I would want all of that traffic to have to go down through here, right? So then if they come over here, I would then update this road to 2 lanes, like so, which is probably a bit overkill, right? Which then means we would need to update this road with 4 lanes. So I'm not going to do 4 lanes all the way. I'm just going to do it here so they can slowly merge back into 3 lanes. And then again, we'd need to do just a little bit of lane control. So this one would go into that lane, this one would go down here, and then down here, the same as before, just with an extra lane. So you can see now that I've done that, all of the traffic can just go straight down. They don't have to wait at the roundabout. So all of the roundabout traffic, they have their specific own lane to get onto the highway, which is the left lane here. Whereas all of this inner city traffic can come down here, bypass the roundabout, and then they have their own specific lane to get onto the highway. Then they have the specific lane, and then they can kind of merge back up here to 3 lanes and then go basically wherever. So look at that. If we just look at that already, I think that's good, right? We've done good. So what I would recommend, if you have the asset, now this is just something extra if you want to care, if you really care about appearance, there's this 4-lane with junction median. So you can just update the road, and assuming there's no traffic light, it looks like that. So it actually looks more proper. Now, one last thing before I wrap up the episode, I just need to throw in the elevated pathway again. How it was to begin with, really, it was like a little bit overkill. You really only need 1 walkway, but just make sure you connect either side of the road, so making it extremely accessible. You could even continue the pathway up the side of the highways as well. So for example, like you could continue it up along the sides of the highways, or in between the highways even. That would make it really connected, right? Just a suggestion. So guys, that's basically it for this episode. If I were to do any other adjustments to this specific area. I'll probably put the seawall to actually show the difference between the highway level and the ground level, and I'd probably also put in some parks in this area because, like, who would want to live right next to such a busy area, or it could be a commercial area or something like that. So that's all for this episode. If you would like to submit your city, like I said at the start of the episode, you can upload it to Steam. Send me the link via down in the description below, or on Instagram, or via Steam Messenger.